This red velvet cake is super moist and tender, perfectly soft and so easy to make. Today I'm gonna show you how to make this perfect red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting. I suggest you try this recipe. Promise you will be shocked by the result. First of all, before preparing my cake batter, I have to turn on my oven at 170 degrees. To make this cake, we need acidic ingredients. It's the key to achieving a tender and velvety texture. I use 200 milliliters of buttermilk or milk. There is no difference in this recipe. I add 1 teaspoon of vinegar to it. There are two types of edible food coloring, butter-based and oil-based. Usually everyone uses butter-based for cakes, but if you want to know my experience, I have to tell you it's better to use butter-based and oil-based both for buttery cakes, but for sponge cakes or chiffons, it's better to use just butter-based. I add butter-based red color to buttermilk and oil-based color to butter. You can add about 1 to 2 teaspoons. I have 110 grams of room temperature butter. You should be able to press your finger into it. Put it in the bowl of stand mixer. Add 350 grams of sugar. Cream this together with electric mixer to avoid sugar from spilling out. Start with low speed, then slowly increase to high. You may need to turn off mixer and grab the sides off with a spatula. Keep beating until it becomes light and fluffy. Now I add oil-based food color. It's powdered. I prefer to mix it with a spatula. Add about 1 teaspoon. Now we have 3 large eggs. They should weigh more than 60 grams. Add first egg and start to beat. I add my second egg. Make sure they comes in room temperature. After each addition, beat for about 1 minute. Okay, let's add the last egg, my third egg. And now I should add vanilla extract. I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can see some butter sticks. I use a spatula and grab the sides off. Blend until smooth and well incorporate. Now I want to mix all dry ingredients together. I have 350 grams of all-purpose flour, half teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Fill your spoon and level off any excess. Baking soda is a bicarbonate and will activate with acids such as buttermilk and vinegar we have in ingredients. If you want a chocolatey and darker cake, you can add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder to dry ingredients, but I'm not adding any. I always prefer to have a light red cake. Add dry ingredients and buttermilk mixture alternately. I always start with liquids, so I pour half of buttermilk mixture. You can mix it with a spatula or a whisk, there's no difference. Now I have to add half of my dry ingredients. It's better to sift them. Mix well until no clumps of flour remains, then add the remaining buttermilk mixture. At last, add remaining flour. It's so smooth, no flour remains. Now I have to prepare my pan. I have 24 centimeter cake pan. Place it on a parchment paper and draw a line around my pan. Cut carefully about 2 millimeters inside the line. The parchment should be fit perfectly inside your pan. Pour the batter in the prepared cake pan. Smooth the surface and place it in preheated oven. Bake it at 170 degrees for about 50 minutes. 50 minutes pass. Open the door of the oven. Check the center with your hand. If it's completely set, you can take it out of the oven. Wait for 5 minutes, then release edge of cake from the pan with a spatula. Take the cake out onto the wire rack and peel the parchment. Turn it one more time and let it cool to room temperature. When it cooled completely, turn it back to cake pan. Cover it with a plastic wrap. Now I place it in the fridge for at least 1 hour. Before taking my cake out of the fridge, I wanted to make an easy and perfect cream cheese frosting. My cake is buttery enough, so I prefer not to use butter in my cream cheese. Instead, I use whipping cream to have a lighter texture. I have 350 grams of whipping cream, beat with high speed of electric mixer until forms. Add 350 grams of cream cheese. It should be cold. 65 grams of honey. You can also replace it with icing sugar. And I add half of a vanilla bean. Grab the sides off with a spatula and mix with low speed until just combined. We don't need to beat it a lot. My favorite cream cheese is ready. It's completely creamy and smooth. Okay, now I set it aside and take my cake out of the fridge. Turn your cake onto a cake turner and I use a cake knife to cut my cake. Cut top of the cake to make it completely flat. Set it aside, it will be needed for cake decoration. Don't throw it away. I want to cut my cake into 4 equal layers. Use a knife to make a mark all around the cake. This mark makes you a guide, so start cutting until you get all the way into the middle. Place your first layer onto the counter and divide your cake into 3 more layers. As I was told you, at first make a mark all around the cake with knife and start cutting until you get all the way to the middle. Okay, let's divide the last layer. Place your first layer of the cake on your cake dish. Spread a thin layer of cream cheese over it. Put second layer over it. Cover it with a thin layer of cream cheese. I continue with third layer. Put the last layer of cake on top. Now I'm covering all the way around the cake with frosting. Now I put some cream cheese on top and spread it over the cake. Remove extra cream cheese and smooth walls and top of the cake. Clean around the cake before adding any decoration. I use top of the cake for decoration. Pass it through a sieve to get little crumbs. Pour it on top of the cake and remove excess crumbles. And I cover all around the cake with red velvet crumbles. Now I remove cake crumbles from edge of the surface of the cake with a spatula. Place your favorite piping nozzle into your piping bag. Most of the time I use number 6B. It's my favorite one. Cut your piping bag and place your tips in it. Fill your piping bag with the remaining cream cheese. Pipe frosting around the edge of the cake. Before cutting, don't forget to place it in the fridge for at least 2 hours. The frosting will be firm up and the slice will set tightly in the fridge, so make it much easier to slice. Just see the texture, it's really soft and tender. Every time I bake this cake, it really makes me amazed.